We have lots to talk about.
So as most of you guys probably already know, our channel has morphed quite a bit here lately. We're not doing as many videos as we used to.
No.
And the videos that we are putting together, we're trying to be helpful to anyone thinking about building a home here in the Philippines, or even buying an existing home and renovating it. Just giving you our experiences, as well as some stories that people around the area that told us their story firsthand.
Yeah.
We try to give you very accurate information, and it's all about just helping you. Call it risk management, and just to make your experiences better. So we're going to get into some of that in this video. But first, I want to talk about a very large typhoon that's hitting north of Manila as we do this video.
Yes, they get hit there hard. Yeah.
It's a very, very devastating storm. It's a Category 5 as it was entering Luzon area. Sustained winds north of 150 mile an hour. Very large, dangerous storm. I think when it actually enters Luzon province, it's going to be a Category 3, but that's still very, very dangerous. And we've been checking in on some of our friends up there, see how they're faring. They're all hunkered down, and we hope everybody is safe up there.
Yes, be safe out there, guys.
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous. So what we've been doing lately is just sending out some videos on things that maybe you haven't experienced before, or as we experience something for the first time, kind of an aha moment. We like to share that information with you, and that's kind of the way our channel's going.
Yes.
And we're not really doing as many videos for that reason. Now, we don't want to just do a video just to do a video. It's really a waste of your time as the viewer, and a waste of our time creating content that's really not that helpful or has been done 1,000 times on video. I think we did one budget video just because a lot of people was asking how much we spend in a month. But we haven't done one since because everybody does budget videos.
Yeah, plus it's individual.
It is individual. That's true. So we try to do things that's worthwhile. So the really big news in this area right now is low voltage. And I've done 2 videos already on it. And it's a big deal. And let me just run quickly through it. I want to spend a lot of time on it because I've already done a couple videos on it. But because of the fact that our substation in the area, basically all areas of the Philippines has substations, and that is the feeder station for electricity for that area. Ours is shut down, and that's giving us low voltage because they connected us temporarily to Dumaguete. That's about 10 miles from that substation, and the fact there's so much distance, we're experiencing low voltage. And you've seen the video what we did here on site to have our transformer tap adjusted so we get additional voltage into our house. So individually, we're good.
Yeah.
Plus, having solar, we've been going off grid just to try to not deal with being on grid with our hybrid inverter, and that's how we're handling it until they actually get our substation up and running, and it's going to take approximately 2 months. So I've had quite a few of you reach out to me locally. One friend of ours, their water pump in their house is not working. So they're not getting any pressure into their house because their pump won't run because of low voltage. And I asked if they knew what their voltage was, and they said it was 164 when it's supposed to be 220. So that's not good. Actually, the service that does our laundry can't dry our clothes, or anyone else's for that matter. So when we drop off our laundry to be done, they have to truck it to a neighbor municipal that they have another branch. They're doing our laundry there in Bacong, and then they're driving it back to Darwin for us to pick it up because their dryers won't work. So it's a big deal. So there's a little gadget that I bought on Shopee, and I like to show it to you now. So here's the little gadget that everybody should have in the Philippines. This is just a simple voltage tester. You can get this on Lazada or Shopee for about $6 or $7 delivered to your house. So it's something that you should have to be able to test your voltage. So pretty simple. You just install it into any outlet and it's going to tell you your voltage that's coming into the house. So it's saying that we're getting 229, which is perfect. Anything around 220 is what you're looking for. And anything above that is okay. It can go as high as 240. That should be the range. But right around that 220, maybe just a little above, is the sweet spot. So that's a good way of testing for just a few dollars if you're getting low voltage or not. All right, so next up is our Starlink.
Works great so far.
Yeah, it's a really good purchase. I highly recommend, if you're going to have your own home here in the Philippines, just invest in Starlink. Very stable, very fast. If you're going to be in the country, meaning the jungle like we are up the mountain here in Darwin, I think it's paramount to have Starlink because it goes down, the fiber line goes down all the time. Now, if you're in a town, like say you're downtown Darwin, it may be more stable, but nonetheless, Starlink is fantastic. But there is a little pet peeve that I have. And the issue is the fact that we're on a hybrid inverter and there's a brownout, our automatic transfer switch switches, and there's just a flicker of light. So you really don't even notice it. The TV doesn't even reset. It's just a flicker. However, our Starlink router must be very sensitive. And actually the router that we had with the fiber was equally sensitive. It would actually trip and have to reset. Well, it takes about 5 minutes for Starlink to reboot.
Yeah.
So just think you're watching TV, you have solar, you think that you not have to worry about brownouts. You have a hybrid system, you're connected. There's a local brownout in the area, power failure. It's that transfer switch switches over and you lose internet for 5 minutes. Is it a big deal? Not really.
Nah.
But it's just frustrating. So I did some research and come to find out. And of course, you guys recommended that I go out and buy a UPS system, uninterrupted power source. So I went to, I didn't want to buy it on Shopee because sometimes things are fake on Shopee. So when I buy a little gadget, like the voltage meter, if that doesn't work, it's not a big deal. It was only a few dollars. But if I buy a power bank that I'm going to spend more money on and it doesn't work, there's no recourse of returns here or any returns that are successful. So I wanted to buy it locally, and that's what we did. So we bought one in the mall in Robinson, and it was only it was less than 2,500 pesos. So let's call it $45. It would last with our wattage about 3 hours, and we only need it to be just for that flicker. Just when the hybrid inverter ATS switches over and it just feels that power drop for that millisecond, it resets the modem. So I only need just to hold on to the power for just that little second, and it works fantastic. So it was a real good project that we're able to do.
Yeah, and it's all hooked up.
All hooked up, worked really well. And I want to take you outside and show you how I hooked it up. So before we take a look at the newly installed UPS system, let's take a look at the weather. Today's a real beautiful day. Let's find the laser beam. There it is, out in full force. Real beautiful Philippine tropical day. It's been real nice lately. The weather's been really great. A little cooler at night, real nice during the day. A little bit of rain here and there, nothing major. There's our prince enjoying the shade. How you doing, boy?
We went out to dinner last night and we got some real nice big cow bones for this guy. So he was been chewing on a very large bone with a bunch of marrow in it. You like that? He was enjoying that bone for several hours today. So as most of you know, our Starlink's on the roof. We didn't want to drill a hole actually in the roof, so we brought it down right under here, and it comes across, and then you can see the hide wire plastic molding right there that's just under the beam. So that's our Starlink wire that leads right to the power bank. Remember, I turned off the actual Starlink router, and then I hooked up the system to a TP-Link mesh. And the first mesh, I call it puck, is right there. Let me zoom in. Right there, right in the center of the screen, right there is the first puck. So what we needed to do to actually have the UPS work properly is, since this is the main power source, and you might say, wow, that's close to the overhang, does it get wet with weather? And it doesn't. And you guys remember when I put the power bank in, I built just a little wall there. See this little cement board right there? Just in case. But this camera doesn't get wet. Even as far down here. Now that's an inside camera. We had an extra, I bought an extra one. So I figured I'd just have surveillance here in this area. So that's an inside camera that is not supposed to be part of the weather. It's been here a year, and since it's down here, you think it would get wet. It doesn't get wet. So up there, it definitely stays dry. But even the fact that it stays dry, I installed another piece of cement board to go across and cover the UPS uninterrupted power source, just to be safe. So it's pretty simple. The unit is right there. Let's see if I can jump up on this chair. There's the unit. It plugs into 220, and it's basically a battery pack. And then it has two 220 outlets, and one goes to the Starlink, and then one goes to my mesh system. So now the fact that we have solar with a hybrid system, and when we're hooked to the grid, which we're not now, we're off grid, but when we are hooked to the grid and there's a power failure, and our ATS, automatic transfer switch, switches over to the grid 100% or away from the grid because there's a power failure, there is a flicker of lights, and that flicker of power for just a millisecond or two would reset the Starlink, and it would take about 5 to 10 minutes for the Wi-Fi to come back on. So it was just annoying. So with having that power bank, that UPS, it no longer will do that quick flash and reset. So we've tested it a few times, works fine. If it does switch back and forth, we do get the flicker of light, but the Starlink stays on because it has that backup battery. And since it's hooked up to our mesh system, we never lose Wi-Fi. And that's throughout the house. So just a little tip, something that we stumbled across, decided to do. I guess the only risk is the fact that this is outside. But again, they're not that expensive. They're about $45. This will run about 3 hours, and we only need to run 5 minutes. So it takes about 5 minutes to reboot if the Starlink would go out. So the fact that it's just a quick flash, it just stays on power, and we don't have to worry about it no more. So it was a good little project.
All right, so next up is Wilma and I installed a whole house security system, a burglar alarm. And we thought that was important for us to do.
Yes, it's for a peace of mind.
Yeah, peace of mind for sure.
Yeah.
So we did take the plunge and did some research, and we found one on Shopee that was rated pretty good. And I want you to take a look at how it works.
All right, Vanna, open the door.
So the system works great. You can tell how loud it is. It comes with a siren on the inside of the house, and then there's also a wireless siren outside the house that you didn't hear, or you may have heard it. It's quite loud. I have it hidden. So if anybody tries to break into the home, that's going to make a lot of noise. I just want to talk about it real quick. I'm not going to go around and show it to you. That doesn't make sense to do that for security reasons. But it's a real good system. You can control it with an app on your phone.
Yeah.
And it actually shares the same app as our garage gate opener, or our gate opener.
Gate opener.
I was thinking garage door opener.
Yeah, gate opener.
Our gate opener. So it's the same app. So when you bring up that app, it shows our security system and our front gate right on one page. So that's pretty convenient. We can arm it, disarm it right from our cell phone. So when we go out, when we come back, I can disengage the alarm system right from my phone inside the truck as we come onto the property, for example. It has infrared sensors that we have throughout the house that detects heat. So they're throughout the house. Every door, every window has a contact, and you saw how Wilma opened up our main slider. And you guys probably know it has the sensor, then it has a magnet, and once that pulls apart, it sets off the alarm. It also sends a text message to our phones, to our cell phones, and calls our cell phones. So text message and calls our cell phone. So if we're out and about, and obviously if somebody breaks into the home, it will text us and give us an opportunity to get home. But the thought process is that all that noise
We'll scare them, I hope.
hopefully we'll scare them off. With our little subdivision here, once everybody moves in, we've already talked about a little neighborhood watch. So if our residents building the Philippines alarm goes off, we'll have one of our neighbors check in on us, and we will do the same. So a little sense of community, call it a community watch. So again, it's just another layer of protection. I also want to just say one more thing about the security system. Probably the main reason, and a good reason, is when we're out and about, set the alarm, and if someone tries to get into the house, either through the contacts or all the sensors that we have, it's going to pick you up and send the alarm off and send that siren out for our neighbors to hear and call us and text us. That's all well and good. But the main reason is at night, when we're in our master bedroom at night, we always have a fan running. I don't hear anything.
No.
It's very quiet. I mean, I'll have a neighbor say, "Did you hear that dog fight last night?" Because we have a lot of stray dogs in the area. "You hear that dog fight at 2 a.m.? It woke us up." And I'm like, "I never heard it."
No.
And they can't believe it. And so we're thinking that it would be wise to have the burglar system on at night, and we can disengage our bedroom, for example. So if we move around within the bedroom, it doesn't set the alarm off. But the perimeter of the house is set. So if anyone tries to break in, for example, it would wake us up. And another reason for that is I've done a video a while back about home burglaries in this area. And in Dowen, I know of 2 home burglaries. One pretty close to us, about a kilometer away, where a person broke into their home in the evening while they were sleeping and woke them up with the noise in the house. 2 separate households. So with me understanding that, hearing that story, I said to myself, boy, I think that could happen to us. Someone could break in on one side of the house and I probably wouldn't hear it. And it's probably because of the fan running
Yeah.
with that, call it white noise. And with the concrete walls, we just don't hear it. But boy, would we hear the sirens.
It's loud.
It would probably give us a heart attack. But it's just another layer of security. Is it being too worrisome? I don't think so. I think it's just being smart, being proactive,
Yeah.
right? A lot of people will install a security system after their home's been broken into. It kind of makes sense to install a burglar alarm system before anything happens. So, it's kind of part of a comprehensive plan. We have the 7-foot wall around our property.
The back is 11 foot.
The back is 11 foot, so it's harder to scale. We have our CCTV cameras.
We have Prince.
We have Prince. We have a Doberman. And we have lights, solar lights that are on all night long around the perimeter of the property, so it kind of lights up the property a little bit. And then, as you guys know, Wilma also has a Glock. So she got her pistol permit. So all those layers and just adding a security system just makes us feel good. Do we feel safe here? Yes. Have we had any issues since we moved here?
No.
No. In fact, when we built the home, we didn't even have security on site, and we had all tools and everything. Everything was here. When we bought our fixtures for the house, for example, we put them in the rooms, and the windows wasn't even in yet. The doors weren't even in yet. Anybody could have walked in here and just walked away with just a whole bunch of stuff. Never happened. So is Philippines safe? Yeah, it is. But why not take necessary risk management and just try to have a multi-layered approach to security? Because we're up here in the mountain, and it's going to take a while for the police to get here, right?
Probably an hour and a half.
Yeah, it'll probably take a while. So I just think adding that system was wise. So last thing we want to share, and this is going to be the most exciting, is we found the unicorn. We found the GOAT of all stories. And I'm doing my best to have this person come on our channel, and I can interview him to tell his story. We're always talking about building in the Philippines is challenging, right? And we want to do some more videos on that just to arm you with information that will probably or could happen to you. Like I said many times, if you're building a home in the Philippines or buying an existing home and renovating it, 8 out of 10, that's our number, okay? That's an educated guess. 8 out of 10 is going to have some type of major issue, right down to being scammed. So I found the GOAT. I found the unicorn. Give you a little teaser. So Wilma and I are having lunch in Dumaguete. Subscriber approached us, introduced himself, and said, boy, do I want to tell you a story. So he said, can we share contact information, which we did.
Yeah.
But he said, I don't want to bother you during your lunch. I said, no, it's no bother. Have a seat. And his significant other was there, and they pulled up a chair, and we chatted for 10 or 15 minutes. So he told me a little bit about the story. So here's just a little taste. He bought a house with land, obviously, did everything legal. The house, obviously, the land's in his wife's name, got an attorney, starting to renovate it, moved into the home, found out, doesn't own the home. He owns the lot, empty lot next door.